Hello and welcome to Elkan's Word for Today, the audio devotional. God bless you as you listen.
Series title: God's Name in Worship. Day 1. Yhwh Vah Hey. How religion hinders true worship. God is not God's name. This phrase is an obvious fact and at the same time an illogical statement. The truth is, God, G-O-D, is actually the generic term for any supernatural being that is worshipped. When we received the gospel, we capitalized that term and somehow turned it to be His personal name. It is analogous to how many little children assume their mother's name is Mom. That's with a capital M. God has a name, and when He first revealed Himself to mankind, He told them that name. It's the name that Noah called him. It's the name that Abram called him. It's the name that Lot called him. It's the name that Isaac called him. It's the name that Jacob called him. It's the name that Moses called him. It's also the name that all the Israelites called him in all their experiences with him in the Old Testament. Genesis 9:26, 14:22, 19:14, 27:20, 32:9, Exodus 4:1, etc. What is that name? Well, we don't know for sure. We can see the name because it is written throughout scriptures, but we don't know how to say it. Ancient Hebrew language didn't use vowels in the text, so a phrase like, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth," will be written as NTHBGNNNG Now, most English speakers, of course, will still be able to read what I just said if it is written down because they already know the words. They know that BGNNNG is most likely going to be the word beginning. The problem would only arise if I included a word that they've never heard before. This is precisely the problem with God's name as it appears in the Hebrew scriptures. The name, when transliterated, is YHWH. But nobody today knows how to pronounce it because no one has heard it being pronounced before. So all we can do is make calculated guesses as to which vowel goes where. How did we get into this most avoidable predicament? One word: religion. Several centuries ago, overzealous Jewish scribes decided to make an idol out of God's personal name. In fact, the Jews basically quit saying it out loud altogether. When reading scriptures aloud, they substituted YHWH with the word Adonai, which means Lord. Thus, after several generations, with no living Jew ever having heard YHWH pronounced, no one can tell what it is. This, beloved, is a graphic example of how religion and religiosity hinders true fellowship and intimacy with God. If God didn't want to be called directly, He wouldn't have given us His name. Exodus 3:14-15 and 6-3. But instead of religion using that gesture of gracious intimacy and love to draw people to God, it used superstition to take us further away from Him by replacing His name with a generic knockoff. But thank God He didn't leave us in the hands of religion. In the fullness of time, He came down to us by Himself in the person of Jesus, breaking the barriers that religion had placed between us and Him. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt amongst us. John 1:14. Thanks be unto God for His unspeakable gift. 2 Corinthians 9:15. Glory! More blessings await you today. You'll not miss them in Jesus' name.
This was an audio recording of Elkan's Word for Today, the devotional for growing believers by Greg Elkan. For more information on other edifying resources or to support this growing work, visit us at www.gregelkan.com. That's GREGELKAN.com. You can send your comments or questions by WhatsApp or Telegram to +234 813 664 2912. God bless you.